Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and please check out my channel for other updates. So the last update about Twist of Fate. Ranbir sleeps with Rhea because he was drunk, but unfortunately that was not the truth because Rhea only used that as another game plan in order to get Ranbir to herself. Let's continue. Shahana was shouting happy Holi and she comes to Prachi's room. Prachi asks her to come near her and asks her to call the doctor because her stomach is paining her badly. Shahana says she doesn't have the doctor's number. Prachi says okay, I will call him and ask Shahana to give her water. Shahana gives Prachi water. Prachi relaxes as the pain relieves. Vikram and Pallavi comes to Grandma and wishes her happy Holi. They apply color to each other. Grandma also wishes them. She asks, where are you coming from? Pallavi says from the event site. Ranbir comes there and wishes them happy Holi. Ranbir says that he made a guest list on event location and all the celebrities and stars are coming. He says some girls are staying with Ombre Chaton and they are coming too. Vikram asks if Rishi Ombre is coming here. Ranbir says I will check. Malishka comes there to apply color to Grandma. Grandma asks her to play respective Holi with her and she doesn't want her to apply Aldi to her face. Malishka says you mean Tilak. Sonia comes there and wishes Malishka happy Holi. Malishka asks Rishi and wishes him happy Holi. Rishi asks Grandma to get ready and come for the Holi function. Grandma asks, why are you talking as if I go to celebrate Holi every day? She acted to be unwell and says she doesn't want to play Holi. She asks Rishi to apply small sticker to her. Rishi applies sticker to Grandma. Grandma also applies sticker to Rishi and others. Ayush tells Grandma that you are looking beautiful today and teases her. Karishma comes there. Grandma applies Holi color to her. Karishma says I was not ready for this. Grandma asks, why did you give birth to such a son? I will take revenge. Kiran comes there and they wish her happy Holi. Rishi tells them that they have to go to Ranbir house to celebrate Holi. Malishka asks, will you go alone? Ranbir calls Rishi. Rishi says he will get late. Ranbir asks him to come fast and asks him to bring Ayush too. Malishka says she will come with him as she doesn't want to leave him alone. Ranbir informs Vikram that Rishi is coming. Vikram asks if Senior Ombre is coming too. Ranbir says I didn't ask and looks for Prachi. Prachi talks to her doctor and says that she was feeling a breathing problem and she had pain in her stomach. The doctor asks her not to take any stress as it is injurious to her and her baby. The doctor asks Prachi to laugh even if she doesn't want to. She says there are problems in your pregnancy and asks her to relieve her stress. She asks her to stay away from the chemical colors. Shahana asks how will she be happy if she doesn't celebrate Holi. The doctor asks her to celebrate Holi with organic colors or Aldi. Prachi asks Shahana that what excuse will she make if someone comes to apply color to her. Shahana says Holi celebration is on full swing. Grandma comes there and greets them. She asks them to come and says Jai came to undo the event and he is doing the anchoring. Prachi says I need to be happy in any situation. Grandma takes Prachi and Shahana with her. Jai takes the mic and wishes everyone happy Holi. He says his favorite festivals are Diwali and Holi. He gives tribute to Bapi Lori, Shoaib Ibrahim, and Rani Abna Time Aiga perform on the songs. Rhea comes to Pallavi. Pallavi asks, where were you? Rhea wishes her happy Holi and hugs her. Pallavi says Holi is play with colors. Rhea says she wants to play Holi with Ranbir first and she wants to apply color on him and vice versa. Prachi tells Grandma that she will go. She thinks if anyone applies color on me, then I might get unwell and Shahana will take me to the hospital. I don't want Rhea or Ranbir to know about my pregnancy. Prachi thinks of Rhea and Ranbir's intimacy and thinks if I had told him, then he would have gotten all the happiness, but he did not deserve it. She tells Grandma that she will check the arrangement and she is going. Ranbir comes there and wishes her happy Holi. A song plays in the background. Prachi changes her way, seeing Ranbir coming. Ranbir asks, why did you change your way? Prachi says she doesn't want to talk to him. Ranbir asks her not to be rude. Prachi asks him to be happy with whoever he wants and get upset with him. She goes. Ranbir thinks that he would convince Prachi and he thinks that he cannot let her be upset with him. Grandma asks Shahana why is Prachi looking scared of playing Holi. Shahana says there is nothing. Grandma says I should find out. Shahana thinks to help Prachi. She thinks if I make all the colors vanish from here. She then thinks to make the color table fall down. She collides with the table and makes the color plate fall down on the ground. Shahana shouted and says that she has slipped. Ranbir goes to help her. Pallavi and Rhea scold Shahana for making the colors fall down. Grandma asks them to pick the plate and play Holi. Aliyah says if the guest sees this, then they will leave. She asks Shahana to go and bring the colors from the market. Ranbir says I will go and get the colors. Rhea says she will go too. Shahana says she would also go. Ranbir asks Rhea to get money from his cupboard. Shahana says she will go alone. Rishi, Malishka and Ayush are in the car. Rishi thinks that Lakshmi haven't messaged him. Ayush understands him and smiles. Rishi sees Lakshmi and asks Ayush to stop the car and says Lakshmi is here. Malishka asks where is Lakshmi. Ayush tells Rishi that Lakshmi is not here. Rishi says he's talking about Lakshmi brand, organic colors. Rishi says I will go and buy it. He get down from the car. Malishka also get down from the car. Ayush stops her. Malishka goes back to the car. Rishi goes to Lakshmi. Lakshmi is buying the color packet. He says hi and asks if she is buying only colors. She says yes. He says uncle scolded you that day. He then wishes her happy Holi. Malishka looks at the Holi color and says there is no Lakshmi Holi colors. She gets down from the car and goes to Lakshmi and Rishi. Lakshmi wishes Malishka happy Holi. Malishka asks them not to be romantic. She says they will celebrate Holi together and they will go to a family's friend's house together, and says they don't buy Holi from roadside, and kisses on Rishi's cheek. Lakshmi closes her eyes. Malishka and Rishi comes back to the car. Malishka gets angry on him for lying to her and meeting Lakshmi. Jai announces the performance by Karan Wahi and Ada Khan. Karan Wahi and Ada Khan perform on the song. Everyone claps. Ranbir comes to Prachi and asks if she remembers their last Holi. He says you did not want to play Holi, and I have said that I will apply color to you first. A flashback is shown. Ranbir is running behind Prachi to apply color to her. He lifted her and they fall down on the ground. He applies yellow color to her. The flashback ends. Ranbir says I will apply color to you first. Prachi says now you don't have any right on me. Ranbir says I still love you and I will apply color to you first. Prachi asks Ranbir to talk to Rhea. Ranbir says I love you. Then why do I have to talk to others? He says he is madly in love with her and he will do whatever he has decided. The first color of Holi with her. A song plays in the background. Aliyah hears them. Karan and Prita performs next. Balvinda talks to his friend and says that he doesn't want to talk to him and he gives the keys to him. Shahana is in the market. Balvinda's friends look at her. Prachi calls Shahana and tells her that Ranbir told her that he would apply color to her. Shahana asks her to relax and says that she has brought all the organic colors as told by the doctor. Prachi smiles. Balvinda's friends comes there and teases Shahana, offering to drop her at home. Lakshmi comes there and slaps the guy. He says Lakshmi. Lakshmi says a girl become a dogger when a girl's respect is in danger and asks him to apologize to Shahana. He says sorry and goes. Shahana thanks Lakshmi for helping her and asks her to come with her and says she is scared that the guy will follow her. Lakshmi says she will come. Rishi comes to Vikram's Holi event with Ayush and Malishka. They greet each other happy Holi. Malishka says that she got late and applies sunscreen cream. She introduces herself as Rishi's to-be wife. Grandma blesses her. Ranbir, Vikram and Pallavi congratulate her. Rhea comes there and says that she is Ranbir's wife. She praises Malishka's dress. Malishka praises her class. Ayush asks who is she, pointing at Prachi. Before Ranbir could say anything, Rhea says she is Prachi. She is not important. Shahana reaches home with Lakshmi. Balvinda's friends eyes her. Jai calls the next performers on the stage. Rishi asks Ranbir if they call them for the Holi event. Ranbir says yes. Rishi asks him to remind him that it is Holi. Ayush asks him to ask directly. Rishi asks about the colors. Aliyah says it is on the way. Rhea introduces Ayush and Rishi to Aliyah. Malishka introduces herself as Rishi's to-be wife. Aliyah congratulates her. She says, I like your classy style. Ranbir asks them to have girls talk and takes Rishi to talk to him. He tells Rishi that he has noticed something and says he wants to say something. Rishi asks Ranbir what happened. Ranbir asks Rishi not to marry Malishka and says a person should marry the person he loves and says your heart is beating for someone else. He asks him to listen to his heart and not to marry Malishka. Ayush comes there and asks Ranbir. He says I told this to Rishi, but he never listened. Rishi stops Ayush. Ranbir sticks to his words. Shahana asks the servant to keep the colors on the table. Prachi comes there. Shahana introduces Prachi to Lakshmi. She says she likes Lakshmi. Prachi says to Lakshmi that Shahana must have liked your good quality. Shahana praises her for saving her. Prachi thanks and asks Lakshmi. She says Shahana is my life, and if something happens to her, then I cannot bear it. Lakshmi says she cannot bear anything happening to any girl. Shahana says Lakshmi talks deeply just like Prachi. Lakshmi says now I should leave. Shahana and Prachi insisted on her to stay there for a few minutes. Lakshmi says okay. Shahana asks Prachi not to worry, as special colours has come. Prachi asks Lakshmi to come to the garden and play with them. Ranbir tells Rishi that it is seen in his eyes that he doesn't love Malishka. Rishi says he loves Malishka and he will marry her. He goes. Ayush tells Ranbir that Rishi has no control on his mind and heart and gets grinded. Barvinder's friend comes back to the market and tells him that he liked the girl and he followed her to her house. Barvinder asks his friend to kidnap the girl. His friend says he was about to kidnap her, but Lakshmi intervened. Barvinder asks him to come and says they will kidnap them. Malishka goes to Rishi and applies color on him. She runs and collides with someone. Rishi takes the plate in his hand. Lakshmi comes there and collides with Rishi. The color falls down on them both. Rishi looks at her. Lakshmi then looks at him. Ranbir and Ayush look at them. A song plays in the background. Lakshmi says Malishka might be searching for you and says I will leave. Rishi says anyone can apply color to anyone. He says I haven't applied the color to you yet. She says I will bring the color. He takes the color and applies it on her cheek. He wishes her happy Holi. Lakshmi imagines dancing on the stage with Rishi. Malishka sees Rishi and Lakshmi together and gets upset. Rishi smiles. Lakshmi goes. Malishka looks at Rishi. Rishi goes to apply color to her. Malishka stops him and says he would have applied color to her first. She goes. Ayush tells Ranbir that Malishka got upset. Ranbir says as Rishi applied color to Lakshmi first. He says since Rishi came here, I didn't see him happy like he was happy with Lakshmi. He asks him to do something. Rhea comes there and says let's play Holi. Ranbir says actually, I like to play wet Holi and he goes to get Pichkari. Rhea says I will not let you drench me with colors. Ranbir takes the Pichkari and gives one to Vikram. Rishi uses the Pichkari on Lakshmi and says happy Holi. Vikram also plays Holi with Pallavi. Shahana wishes happy Holi to Grandma. Pallavi gets upset. Ayush comes to Lakshmi and says he is happy to see her here. He applies tilak to her. Lakshmi also applies tilak to him. He says let's play Holi and they apply color to each other. Rishi comes there and applies colors to Lakshmi. Ranbir dances on a song. Barvinder comes there with his friend and play the doll. Malishka gets upset. Ranbir takes color from Rhea's plate and tells Prachi that he has told her that he will apply color to her first. He then applies color to Prachi and holds her hand and applies colors to his face too. Ranbir imagines Prachi dancing with him in the event. He wishes her happy Holi. Prachi is upset and she goes. Vikram smiles. Rhea gets angry and goes, throwing the color plate. Barvinder eyes Lakshmi and walks towards her. Lakshmi goes away from there. Aliyah comes to Rhea and asks, why did you come here? Rhea asks, didn't you see what I saw exactly? She says that Ranbir has applied color to Prachi in front of me and says that his heart was beating for Prachi and not me. She asks, what is in Prachi? Ranbir takes bread for Prachi only. He feels for her, but I am nowhere. Rhea says, whatever I do, I am nowhere. Ranbir doesn't even see me. She says Ranbir will not look at me even if I get mad. Aliyah asks Rhea to calm down. Rhea says she cannot calm down. She says I made it look like I celebrated my wedding night with him and they have moved on in their wedding life. But then also, he made it look like as if I am the biggest mistake, which he wants to forget. Rhea says she went to Ranbir with the color plate, but Ranbir called Prachi and applied the color to her with my color plate. She says how to control Ranbir and get him out of the black magic. She says that she did not know what she can do, but Prachi's pregnancy was fake, and I have proved that my wedding night is done. Aliyah asks Rhea to calm down. Rhea looks at Prachi going from there and says that she will calm down and let her anger go down and she will make someone else cry. Vikram comes to Pallavi and asks why is she sad. Pallavi says Holi would end today, but life will go on. Vikram asks what? Pallavi asks Vikram when will you stop pretending that life is perfect? Vikram says I want to be happy, but it seems like you will spoil my mood. He asks her to search for small happiness. Pallavi says I am not like you. Vikram says be unhappy and make others unhappy too. He says I am upset and I will remember always that you fought with me today also. Pallavi says to Vikram that we are fighting due to Prachi and says Ranbir apply color to her in front of Rhea and asks how will Rhea feel. Vikram argues and goes. Grandma comes there and tells Pallavi that Ranbir has applied color to Prachi with his wish. She says there is no power in Rhea's love that will make Ranbir hear her, and there is no truth in your talks that will make Vikram come to your side. Grandma says to Pallavi that you love Rhea since her childhood, but you got blinded in her love and you've forgotten what she did with Prachi. She asks her not to be like Rhea. Pallavi thinks I shall do something with this Prachi. Until then, the Kohli family cannot be won. Deepika Singh dances with Ayush and Siddharth. Ranbir and Prachi joins them. Please don't be confused with the different names that you've been hearing throughout this episode. That is because this is a special Holi episode, and that is why you've been hearing different names from different angles. Alright, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like my video, share it, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.